This is my dining room table. I brought you here today because they say that all the important family discussions about money happen around the dinner table, and I want to teach you 5 things that you may not understand about money, and a lot of them come from when you were younger and you sat at this very table with your family eating dinner, and there are things that seep into your brain that change the way you think about money. This is the Retirement Mentality channel, where I want to change the way you think about money, the way you think about retirement. I'm going to try to do this in about 5 minutes. 5 things you may not understand about money. Let's get into it right now.
Shut up and sit down.
Okay, the first one I want to talk about is that a lot of your money beliefs are actually inherited from your family. You picked up on them right here at the kitchen table. You heard things that your family said and they seeped into your brain. We can't afford that. We don't talk about money at this table, young man. That's because the neighbors are rich. You can't just have everything you want, young lady. Does any of that sound familiar? You see, you may not think that you learned about money from your parents or from school or from Uncle Billy, but the fact is all these little things get implanted into your brain, and you start to think that, you know, money is a scarce object, money can't be spent, you can't afford it, you can never have anything nice. Or maybe you grew up in the opposite family where they spent too much, or they thought debt was you just used credit cards for everything and you racked up credit card debt. So you got to understand where a lot of these ideas and beliefs about money come from, and they came from sitting around here at the table, whether you like it or not. Those things creeped into your mind and molded the way you think about money. So what you got to do is think about how you want money to fit into your life, and understanding that will help you understand how money works in your own life. Number 2 is your beliefs about work. See, my dad came from an era where you worked for 50 years for a company and you got a gold watch and a pension when you retire, and that's not the way the world works anymore. My college degree is in business management with an emphasis in entrepreneurship and small business. I can most times not even spell that correctly, but what it did was I always knew I wanted to own my own business. I went to college for it, and I worked for a couple of years, and then I started my own company. I started a mortgage company after I worked for one for a couple of years, and my dad was just like,
why would you, don't you want to go work for somebody else? Don't you want to work for a big bank?
And I was like, no, remember how I studied how to own a business? He just never could understand that. And a lot of people get stuck into careers that their parents wanted them to do. Your dad wants you to be a doctor. Your mom wanted you to be a lawyer. You're supposed to follow in the family footsteps and join the army, or follow in you have a long lineage of people who worked in the coal mines or whatever it might be. And you may be working in a job because your family wanted you to do it, because it's what you majored in college, and you find out later that it's not what you love, it's not your passion, that it sucks, and your life is a soul-sucking hellhole that you don't want to be in. So you've got to understand what you want for work and if it fits in with the life that you want to have. Number 3 is your investing/savings strategy. I use the term investing and savings interchangeably because in my mind, it's the same thing. You know, when I was a youngster, you used to put your money into a savings account and it paid you 10%. And you were actually investing because your savings was paying you interest. But when we save now, it doesn't go into a savings account, does it? It goes into a stock market fund, a 401k, a mutual fund, an ETF. So when we save money now, it goes into those asset classes. And so when I say savings, I mean investing. But anyway, a lot of people don't start investing because they don't know what they need, and you don't know what you need because you don't know what kind of a life you want to have in retirement or getting to retirement even. A lot of times you have to understand what you want your life to look like in the future, and then you got to understand how much that lifestyle costs, and then once you figure that out, then you can understand how much you need to save. And so because a lot of people don't know what they want their life to look like, and they don't know how much they're going to need for the life that they don't know what it looks like, they don't start saving. And then it just keeps pushing whatever that goal is down the road. And that's why a lot of people don't think they're ever going to retire. They're not going to have enough money to retire. It's because they don't know what their retirement looks like. So don't make the mistake of waiting to save/invest until you know what that looks like. Start now, and then when you figure it out later, it'll be that much. You'll already have a jump start towards whatever the goal is that you want. Number 4 is to sync up with your partner. If you are in a marriage or a partnership or whatever kind of relationship you might be in with a significant other, and you don't talk about what your financial goals are, you can never reach them. It might stem back from that. We don't talk about money at this table, young man. And so you might not talk about finances with your significant other. And if you don't, and you think, a lot of people just think they're working towards the same goals, but you might not be. Your goal might be to buy a race car and race in the senior race tour, which I don't think there is such a thing, but we should start that because that's one of my dreams. And her idea might be to travel the world on an ocean cruising liner vessel boat thing. And you're like, wait, what? No, I don't want to travel. I want to buy the Ferrari. She's like, wait, no, I thought we were going to retire and travel. And all of a sudden, you're 25 years into a marriage and you're saving for different things and you want to go in different directions. And you've got to have a clear path and you've got to work as a team. You know, your partnership, your marriage isn't about just, you know, lovey-dovey, kissy face all the time. You're a team and you got to work towards the same goals, and you can't do that if you don't have the discussions about where you're going. Number 5 is to implement a plan now. The sooner you implement some sort of a plan, the better you're going to be. Start to invest a percentage of your income, 1%, 5%, 10%, 20%, the most you can afford, or just even start with a little bit if that's what you have to do. Because a lot of times it seems scary to set up these investment accounts, and it's super simple. It doesn't have to be. Look at some Vanguard, just look at VTI. It's an ETF. It's buying the whole stock market. It's in Vanguard. You can do it, and you just can set it. You can set it up to auto withdrawal from your bank account every month, and so you can set it and forget it. Most people spend more time looking at a Yelp review for a restaurant where they're going to go out to dinner than they do working on their finances. So you can set these things up. You can spend 1 hour per month working on your finances, working on your investments, starting to invest, and it would be less time than you probably spend trying to figure out where you go to dinner if you added those all up over a month. So spend a little time, make the effort, start investing, start with something simple, start with ETFs. I'll do another video on my 3 favorite ETFs that I'm starting to invest in. If you want, leave me a comment down below if that's something that you're interested in, and I will do a video on where I'm putting my money so you can see how easy it is. So I hope you like this video. I hope this maybe helped you think a little bit about money. Hit that like button down there if you did like it. And hey, if you're new here, consider subscribing down there. I'm going to be putting out more information like this. I talk about early retirement, investing, real estate, all things to help you retire better and have an earlier and better retirement. So thanks for coming to this video, and we will see you in the next one.